stop a god.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Vecna, Eve of Ruin here on Dork Tales. I'm your Dungeon Master Kelly. I'm using he and him, and I am very excited because we're heading to my old stomping grounds, Barovia, tonight on Vecna. We have a lot to do tonight, and plenty of time to do it actually, because it's Friday night, we're feeling all right, but let's meet the cast tonight. Starting with Christine, welcome back.
Hello, it is me, Christine. Yes,
You're
I
the
use she,
problem.
her pronouns, and tonight I play Rosie Thistledrop, our gnomish, artificer artillerist, who also uses she, her pronouns, and her little magical cannon, Boom Boom, who I actually haven't asked him what his pronouns are. I've
Boom
just
Boom.
been using he, him, so I feel like that might be what it is. I assume Rosie would have figured it out.
He's
at
a
some
giant
point.
phallus, so I'll give it to you. Like, it might not
Basically.
be, but I think statistically, it's probably more likely that it's, well, but you know, it's
Yeah.
4,325 or something like that DR in Faerun, so who knows?
But yes, that is me.
Perfect. Hey, next to you, we've got the one and only Robin.
Hello, I'm Robin. I use she, her pronouns, and tonight I am playing our Way of the
You're Way of the Ascendant Monk, are you? Ascendant
I was
Dragon?
trying to remember because Chris always says it really well. And so I was like, he says it like this in his head. And then I was like, Way of the Astral Self, Moon Elf. Way of the Astral Moon Elf Self.
Way of the JoJo elf.
Way of the JoJo Elf.
And
yes,
and
Lir'wen,
you are
who uses she, her.
Yeah, it's true. You are one of a kind, because if there were more of you, I just wouldn't be able to hit anybody. With that damn AC of yours.
That nummy AC. I love
God,
it. It's so hot.
mind-numbing
It makes
AC.
up for the lack of hit points that I have. So
I mean, I guess that kind of sums it up, right? All right, so also summing it up is the guy who's dead and loving it, Chris.
Hello, I'm Chris. I go by Blogg in the chat, use he, they pronouns, and really happy to be here tonight to play Gaunt, our reborn Hexblade Warlock. It's going to be a good night. Glad to be back in Vecna, and let's get it on, see what's going on.
Nice. Last but not least, we've got Jen.
Hey, I'm Jen. I use she, her pronouns, and I play Imogen, our champion fighter blender. Yes.
Yes, good. Tonight,
With
I'm
all
going
the
to...
hit
All of the
points.
hit points.
With
With all
the
of
hit
them.
points. How many hit points do you have right
All
now?
of
Do you guys
them.
just hit level 14?
I have 211.
Holy shit. And what's
Hit
your
me,
AC?
bitch. My AC's 18 without the shield and 21 with the shield.
Nice.
God. Oh my god. Oh my god. Beautiful. Hey, folks, I'm going to be hurting these folks a lot tonight, and I'm going to be using some dice that were gifted to me by our very own paradoxical ghoul, Amy, that have dice on, or pardon me, they have dice on them. The dice have dice on them. The dice have bats on them, and I'm very excited about this. If you want to
that's
find
cute.
right? If you want to find some other really cool dice, though, head to our sponsor, Bookwyrm Games. They will take care of you. Bookwyrm Games is a fantastic place to go and get dice from liquid core to wood to metal and even more. You can even get like tea and other really cool stuff there that you can give out as gifts. Hey, Valentine's Day is coming. If you have somebody that you are sweet on, maybe you buy them some dice. You know, roll for their heart. But just because you are giving these dice away or collecting them doesn't mean you have to go broke doing it. You can use code DorkTales to save 15%, save that money, buy more dice. And hey, the Canadian dollar is literally 69 cents on the US dollar right now. So take advantage of that $100 free shipping.
Nice.
If you buy a nice amount of American priced dice, you'll get free shipping worldwide, which is pretty fantastic if you are stuck in the mists of Barovia. I am very, very excited to be hopping into tonight. But I also want to tell you that Bookwyrm Games just dropped a fantastic backer kit. It is pinned in Twitch and it is down below in the comments. You can go and back their Fey Friends and Familiars kit, which is just absolutely fantastic. It is part of Pintopia, has these enamel pins, it has plushes. You can get your own Meow Moth, 1 part moth, 1 part cat, all parts perfect and very fuzzy, because the 2 of the fuzziest things in the multiverse. Go check them out. They've even got flumph pins, and you know on the channel we are fans of flumphs. You know, flumph, something involving flumph was in the running for name of the channel originally, so we're big flumph fans here. But we should probably head into game. I also wanted to let you know that one final thing. I love you, and I hope that you are doing well. But you know what would make you do even better? Go over to our Patreon. Go support it. We are two paid patron members away from Christine having to run a game. That's it. Just 2. All of the gifts patrons have been granted. We are 2 people away. So go sign up. Any paid tier will do it. And then Christine will have to run the unexpected wedding invitation.
I suppose that means I need to start planning.
Yeah, do it. If you join the higher tiers, I can afford to get better art for it, because it's going to be a short run. And who knows, maybe she'll like it so much that she'll actually transition into running a monthly campaign. You never know. But I also have 3 other confirmations, technically 4 for that. If you guys keep joining the Patreon, at 200 paid patrons, I will run a dealer's choice game. That is basically, I'll put my favorite things up on the Patreon, and then you guys will vote for it, and I'll run whatever you guys put. I'll only put systems that I'm passionate about, but there'll still be like 10 or 20 up there. So things that I will actually have cool ideas for, everything from Demon the Fallen to Orpheus to more games from our homebrew world of Elos to all sorts of things. Old Gods of Appalachia could get an entire like real season. So think about it. It could be a lot of fun. At 225, Jen has said that she'll probably run another mage game for us. She's not sure what it is, but she's got some ideas that are pretty wicked, and I think that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah, I've got some thoughts. What I will say is it will be a mage game, not a technocracy game.
I like it. And then at 250, it's a 2-fer, guys. Cal has promised he'll run Exalted for the channel. And I promise I will run another thing that is, I think I said I'd run another mage game, but I'll run like another thing, like just another huge thing. I'll make sure it's big and shiny. Consider of joining and sticking with us, because it supports the channel and it helps us continue to grow and survive these trying times for content creators, because it's getting rough. But with that in mind, it is time for us to head into game here on Vecna, Eve of Ruin. Does anybody have any last questions, comments, or concerns before we do?
I have a question real quick. Not for you, but for more like our blender shaped people. What are your strength scores, and do you have attunement slots left? Because I have more infusions.
I do not have attunement slots left, but my strength score is 23.
Okay, cool.
I have a belt.
You are golden.
I have a belt of giant strength for that, so that's why I don't have an attunement slot.
That's also what I can make now.
Fair.
Oh my God.
I got it in our heroic history stuff.
Nah, I'm Dex, unless you can push Dex up above 20.
Unfortunately, I don't think so.
Oh my God.
Which that would also
Okay,
boost my AC.
That would as well. All right, so then I am probably going to give myself boots of speed instead, Kelly.
Do it. Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast. Zoom, zoom. All right, folks. So without further ado, let's head into Vecna, Eve of Ruin, episode 17, Unwelcome Party. You've returned, making it back from the Mournlands. And as you did, you found an exhausted Tasha laying across one of the sofas inside of the sanctum sigil. The sigil sanctum, I should say. She informed you of your next location. You were headed toward a land called Barovia. I would like everybody here, as she informs you of this, make me a history roll to see if you've heard anything about it.
14.
14? Okay.
17.
17? Okay. Hell,
11.
I'll have
15.
11. And Osric bringing in the nat 1. You have no idea of this place named Barovia. Chris, you got a 17?
14.
I did.
14. Lir'wen?
Lir'wen got a 17.
Lir'wen, you think that you have heard something about Barovia. You know that it's a demiplane that exists out among the mists of Ravenloft. But that's about it. Ravenloft being one of these demiplanes of dread. Basically a spooky realm. It's a spooky place. We don't go there.
It's a spooky place.
Hmm? Tasha leans back over the sofa, curling her back like a cat. Yes, I know, and you don't go there. Well, you're gonna have to.
I suppose I'll fit in.
Oh yeah, you'll be the rage.
I have a good weapon.
Mm-hmm. Well, if there's anything I can do to help you out, let me know. Look, if you don't know anything about it, I can tell you it's oh God, can you hand me those little pills on the table? You see, there's a little candy dish full of these hand-rolled pills.
Lir'wen will activate her just the arms, not the voice. She won't do her full JoJo stand, but she'll just activate the arms, and one will like lash out.
Oh, thank you. Oh God. I'm never casting Wish again.
Tasha,
Mm-hmm.
the stuff in your magic stuff, it was rare, or your valuable magic items were rare, right?
I mean, it's not my magic stuff. It's
Yes, but the stuff that we
Silver
could
Butts.
borrow.
I mean, she's in her office right now. Why don't you go ask her? I'm just gonna.
All right, Lir'wen will like hop away.
Summon the dark juice from whence it's made. Call to my side my Gatorade. A bottle of Gatorade will appear. Oh, Cherry. Fine. And she'll start sucking on it. Come find me later. So, Lir'wen, you head over to the Sanctum's office, where you can see a very exhausted. Now, Illustrial Silverhand is one of the most beautiful women in the multiverse, but even she is starting to look a bit worn down in the wake of this casting. And the crow's feet are starting to show. Her makeup, what little she has to wear, because she definitely goes all natural looking at the art, is very starting to look a little cracked. She looks a little more suburban mom than ethereal beauty at the moment. And as she's sitting behind her desk looking through a number of grimoires and you enter, Hello. Lir'wen. How may I help you?
I was just wondering. I don't really use these earrings of message, and I was gonna swap them out in your room.
Yes, my
I was just trying
curio.
to. Yes, your curio. I was wondering if I was able to get in there, and what level of items you have in there that I'm
What-
supposed to stick to.
What level of items? What a strange query. Who defines items by terms of level?
Just they're like rarity. I know you probably don't
I
want
see.
us taking
Well,
the
they're
very
all rare. Oh, well, not
They're all
exceptionally rare, but rare, yes.
Okay,
They are.
great.
Yes. At the very least, I would say that any magic item is uncommon. But I know there are others who disagree with me. It seems kind of strange to have common magic items. Wouldn't the fact that they were magical I'm sorry, when I'm exhausted, my attention deficit disorder gets the best of me. Yes, please, curio? And the cabinet will bow slightly and open itself.
Thank you.
Were you successful in retrieving the...
Yes, we have another
Piece
piece
of
of
the
the
wand.
rod. Yes, the rod is growing. It is getting bigger.
That's good. That's good. I can't wait to see the rod when it is fully erected.
Hmm. Yes, it should be quite a masterpiece.
You know, wow, this dice does not want to roll well. I never was a big fan of rods. I was always more of a fan of wands. And staves, I suppose. But I suppose a rod is fine. It just feels a bit awkward in my hand. You know?
They was trying to figure out staves and what that is insinuating.
So, you are going to go through... Which item do you pick?
I am looking that right now.
Alright, sounds good.
Because I was looking at, that's why I was asking for the confirmation, because now I could look at magic items.
It's rare.
Yes. Cool. Yeah, so there are... You can carry on with other people. I'm going to look at the magic item list.
I was going to trade in one as well for something. Because I'm currently borrowing a Ring of Spell Storing, and I was going to try and trade that in and see if a Ring of Free Action was available.
Ring of Free Action is available. Yes, they do have one of those. So Gaunt will enter the room as well, and Lady Illustria will... yes, Gaunt, it's good to see you here.
You should get some rest. And I'll just head right over to the magic items.
Thank you. I'm very proud of you. You've all done very well. I knew that we were right to trust you all with the task at hand. I'm going to go make some tea. Would anyone like some? I'm more than happy to make it for everyone.
Yeah, sure, that'd be great. Lir'wen says as she's like scrolling the shelves.
Curio, help find the items they're looking for. A little shelf will kind of do one of like the gestures. And Illustria will head out into the main area where Rosie, Imogen, and Osric are kind of lounging around. Osric will take a big yawn.
I think Imogen's just going to, without saying anything to anyone, just start wandering around the place, like just looking around, being like, I'm bored, what's interesting?
Fair. Now, there are a number of places that you can head around here. Inside of this area, the sanctum is quite large. You can see that the first floor has this glowing portal around it that you have been using, but there's also an immense amount of topiaries and greenery in this flowing garden that hangs out behind the portal. In the parlor here, you can see that there's plush antique furniture, sofas and footstools, as well as a grand staircase that leads upwards. Now, up there is an actual lounge. That's where most of you have been crashing when you just needed a place to just kind of fall asleep in common space. But there are several... there's a spare bedroom that you have been allowed to use, as well as the wizard's bedrooms. On top of that, as well, there is also a research library just off the parlor. Anywhere jump out at you?
I don't think anything in particular jumps out. She's not really looking for anything. She's literally just wandering room to room.
Okay, sounds good. As you are wandering around, if you poke your head into the library at all, does that sound like something you do? Or nah?
I'd probably poke my head in, but then I'd be like, library. Meh. How bored am I?
A squinty-eyed, bald man that you'll recognize as Mordenkainen is peering over several scrolls and yawns tremendously. Ah, I see that you've returned from whence you came. How were
Yep.
the Mournlands? As good as expected?
I don't know what was expected.
Full of death and decay, no doubt.
Probably. But so are a lot of places. Just kind of got on with it, did the job.
Good, then you'll have no problem in the next locale, heading into Barovia. I imagine you'll have no problem with your Sunblade.
Sounds like I won't, so yeah. Sounds spooky. Don't know much
Oh.
about it, but...
It most certainly is. It is ran, controlled, by quite a poser of a vampire. One Strahd von Zarovich. A foolish noble who was cursed with vampirism and given a domain of dread that he can't control. Or if he can, not well.
Fair?
I imagine you'll make short work of any vampire with that sunblade of yours.
Probably. Can I roll an insight check? Because he seems to be fixated on the sunblade, and I'm like,
Sure,
sus.
go ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, that's actually a 23.
So, it is obvious that there is some history here between Strahd and Mordenkainen. They have butted heads in the past, and he is looking at that sunblade with a bit of interest, and you're thinking it's kind of a little bit, there's a little bit of hunger in his eyes. Like, he's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, fuck him up, bitch.
Cool.
You're like beating up a guy that like keyed his car type of thing.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, she'll kind of narrow her eyes at him from a brief second and then realize all that and go, if I have to stab him, I'll stab him. If I had to stab you, I'd stab you.
Luckily, you don't
So
have
it's
to
for.
stab me. Yeah, I suppose that's what swords are for. Blunt instruments not designed to wield the cosmos. And yet,
Never said
something
it was.
elegant about their simplicity, is there not? Well, good luck.
Yes.
If you do manage to... One of Illustrial's familiars is just wandering around. A little black and white dog curls up and kind of lets out a snore and a resounding fart.
I'll leave you to your books. And she's just gonna turn and leave. She's like, I don't need to get in a pissing match with a wizard's ego.
It's just it's piss all the way down with this guy, really. Like,
yeah, I'm getting that.
Mordenkainen. He hasn't been in the game for so long, I'm like, what voice does he use? Was he, "In the world of tomorrow"? Like, oh God, what was it? Like, close enough, close enough. All right.
Kelly,
Chris,
instead of a ring of free action, can I get a scaled ornament from Fizzbends?
sure, what does it do? It says any
Plus
rare
one.
item.
There's the rare version of it gives you
One
plus
moment
one
while
to
I
AC.
take a drink of my liquid so I can spit it out. Ready?
Yep. You can't be charmed or frightened. Moreover, each creature of your choice within 30 feet of you has advantage on saving throws it makes to avoid being charmed or frightened, or to end those conditions on itself. We were talking about spooky stuff, and I was like, "Oh, frightened. Yeah, let's
Okay,
not."
cool. Okay, cool. That's not as OP as I was expecting. But yeah, go ahead. Absolutely. The curio will hand you that and be like, which you're pretty sure means in curio. Have you considered this?
No, I hadn't. Thank you. And I'll take it.
And you'll see that on the inside of the curio, like, a leaf is carved. It's a symbol of a multiversal trader. Trader, not traitor. Well, maybe. He's particularly well known for selling people houses and then charging them, you know, it's just a real racket. Yeah, leaf in the wind.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, you absolutely can have that. Rosie, back in the common area, what are you doing?
I think Rosie has probably sat down with a book she snorkeled from the library and a big cup of coffee and a plate of snacks.
So
probably exactly against all rules of what she should be doing with a book. But she took it out of the library at least.
this is true. So as you're sitting there eating your snacks, Osric's going to sit next to you and just constantly be like pilfering your snacks. Like, so anyway, so then the Gorgon stomped its hooves, and this the common misconception. Everyone thinks Gorgons are Medusae, and Medusae are Gorgons, but Gorgons actually can also refer to giant mechanical bulls. I shouldn't be saying this to you. You know mechanical bulls. Anyway, so the Gorgon is stomping its feet and blowing steam out of its nose, and I was like, oh, well, $20 is $20, right? So I hopped on and I rode it. And I managed to hold on for 20 seconds before it bucked me off. And that's how I got a sandwich named after me. In What were we talking about?
Oh, sorry, Osric, were you talking? Book. She takes a big slurp of her coffee and just...
You should respect your elders. We might not be here when you actually need us.
You would die of shock if I did, Osric.
God, when are we having this cooking contest?
Tomorrow morning, breakfast gives us a chance to go out, get the supplies.
Make eggs Benedict!
Oh no, I know exactly what I'm making.
Oh, yeah? Well, I suppose that you are going to have to contend with my legendary recipes. From when I was traveling the multiverse, I went to a place called Alabama, to a house made of waffles. The greatest warriors of the land gathered there, and that's where I learned the secret of my greatest breakfast yet.
I'll be making something that I came up with myself. And
Do you even have taste buds?
You tell me how it is after you're done.
All right, well, it's getting... Does it ever get late in Sigil? I'm not sure. I'm going to turn in for the night, and I hope you all do the same.
I'm gonna go out and get some groceries. Just run-of-the-mill stuff from different planes. Nothing terribly fancy, but in Sigil shouldn't be a problem.
Sigil. It's a hard G.
Sigil.
There you go. He's learning. He's going to learn tomorrow when he loses. Whose familiar is that, anyway? A little dog walks through, hops up on the couch, and starts grumbling. Oh, sorry, he's mine. Isn't he? Oh, what a cutie. I'm going to make tea if anybody wants any. With that, the rest of the day can be spent in quiet contemplation, attuning to your items, and preparing. Is anybody researching where you're headed?
I think once Imogen finds one of those rooms where she could sleep, she's just gonna take one and go to bed.
Lir'wen probably does when she finishes like searching things.
Cool. All right, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what you all discover in your research, or just simply by talking to some of the Wizards 3. So what you are going to find out is that Barovia is the name of a village, as well as the name of the Domain of Dread that encompasses that village. A Domain of Dread is a demiplane, hidden in the Plane of Shadow. Each Domain of Dread is separated from the rest of the multiverse by a mysterious barrier known as the Mists. The Mists are unfathomable, unpredictable. Once an individual has been taken by the Mists, there is little chance of escape. The only entities with influence over the Mists are the unknowable Dark Powers, which control the Domains of Dread, and the Dark Lords, who each rule a domain created to torment them. Barovia's Dark Lord, the vampire Strahd von Zarovich, wields immense power, and usually has the final say over who comes and goes in his domain. So, that is what you know. That there is... you are going to be headed to a place forebodingly known as the Death House. The Death House is owned by two Barovians named Gustav and Elizabeth Durst, who run a small cult devoted to Barovia's Dark Lord, Strahd von Zarovich. That is what you need to know going in. Somewhere inside of this Death House is the fourth piece of the rod of 7 parts. And with that, I think we cut to the next morning. There's the sound of clattering and splattering, cooking and burning as you all awaken to the sound of your breakfast being prepared. Gaunt, how are you doing the cooking? What are you doing? What's your shtick? How do you cook? Osric cooks big and loud, humming and singing as he goes.
I'm probably cooking in silence, like just keeping a careful eye on everything. I'm constantly moving while I'm doing it, but I'm not making a huge show of cooking. However, the presentation will be quite something else, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I have this prepared.
Perfect.
Question.
Answer.
On the research, I'm still trying to choose a magic item. Do we know if vampires in D&D have aversions to water?
Some do, yes. I would say that with a little bit of research, we'll be able to suss that out. That they do have an aversion to running water.
Cool. Lir'wen's gonna grab a lovely little decanter. It's only an uncommon magic item, but it is has endless water.
Oh no.
Okay.
Nice.
So, let me just double check that before you choose that permanently. So, while in running water. I mean, yeah, technically. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. All right. So, Gaunt, I want you to do me a favor. And are you proficient with chef's tools?
I sure am.
Oh, god damn it. Of course you are. All right, so go ahead and make me a chef's tools plus wisdom roll.
All right. I'm going to use my determination, because why not?
Of course you are.
As well as my memories of past lives, like reborn ability.
Okay, I'm going to use the bat dice.
Okay, so that's a 16 on the die.
Plus
So that's
guidance.
21 with proficiency. With determination, that's 26. Plus I get the extra d6 from the reborn ability, so that will be a 32.
A 32?
Yes, sir. Why don't you use guidance? I'm sure you have that cantrip.
I did! I got a 15. I rolled a 6. I'm not gonna waste a
Gaunt was built for this battle, not for anything else.
All right, so you are all hanging out inside of the common area, waiting for your breakfast, and it comes out. The two battlers enter the common area with cloches, the domed lids, on top of their food, and well, you know what? Age before beauty. Age. I'm going first, so ready. May I present to you? Yeah, what? I'm doing a bit.
31. I forgot my wisdom modifier.
Get fucked. Anyway, sorry, I was communing with the spirits, and now I would like to present to you Alabaman chicken and waffles. Honestly, pretty solid. Pretty solid attempt. The waffles are nice and crisp. There is fresh tapped syrup there. If anything, the chicken is slightly too crispy on the outside. It's not necessarily a bad thing.
Little dry.
Well, you put the syrup on it, and that evens it out.
Lir'wen's gonna take the whole jug of syrup and just dump it over the chicken, like most of it. So it's like swimming in the syrup, and then just
How do you
eating
not?
it.
I thought elves were prone to diabetes. Seriously.
No.
Imogen is just the whole hog eating everything. Food.
No, we're good. What?
Fine. All right. Enjoy. And Gaunt, what do you have?
So, do you want to know the ingredients and how they're prepared first? And then I'll tell you the name after you try it?
Sure.
So first off, I took an Inferno Basilisk sausage, which is made from the tail meat of the basilisk, and it's marinated in molten dragon chili for 3 days, as well as hellfire peppers, bright red pepper, grown in the sulfuric soil of the elemental plane of fire. It's diced and seared to release the fiery essence within it. I also got some magma beans from the same plane as well, and used that so that it adds a little bit more crackle and spice. By the way, you better like spicy food or don't touch this. I found some salts from the quasi plane, elemental plane of minerals, and used that to add a bit of a smoky flavor to it. And then I used a demonic cow's milk and flaming garnished with ember fruit. And I'll open up the plate, and it's a completely black plate. And the fruit, the ember fruit, is slightly charred and still glowing with heat to provide this beautiful presentation of food. And please, try some. And I wait until Osric tries some. And then when he does, it's called Osric's Dong.
Wow.
After our
Osric.
last adventure. It's a little too spicy for you.
I can handle my dong just fine.
I thought you were going to choke on it for a moment.
It wouldn't be the
Imogen's
first.
fully also eating all, like, it's like she has an empty stomach. I'm betting this is why her constitution went up 2 points.
Is it? From
This hot-
finally
yeah.
eating Osric's dong?
No, the hot meal.
Oh, the hot meal, of course. Gaunt. Preparing. Yup.
Wow. This is amazing. Sorry, Osric, you lose. It tastes like sawdust after the flavor that Gaunt has packed into this. This is like, it's spicy yet not. It makes me feel alive and fiery and ready to start the day. Oh my god.
Don't take it so bad, Osric. Nothing beats Osric's Dong.
If you say that one more time, I'm going to stop eating your food and throw it in your face.
Hey, say it again. Say it again. I didn't hear it. I'm very old. I can't quite hear you. What did you say? This was what?
The
Shut
best
up,
food I've
Osric.
ever tasted.
You just don't understand the joy of Waffle House.
Imogen will then, when she's finished with Gaunt's, go back and eat more chicken and waffles, partly to cool the temperature, but partly to make Osric feel a little better.
Aww.
Syrups.
I mean, they're pretty
I like
decent chicken and
classics.
waffles. They're not that.
It's at least twice as good.
It's at least
I
twice
like
as
the
good.
classics.
Twice as good plus one.
That was worth spending determination for.
Well, you just got it bought back for you, so there you go. Beep. All right.
And I'll say
fine.
to him, I might not be able to enjoy food, but if you'll remember, I'm very interested in the things people are tasting.
How did you learn how to cook this? Seriously, you're a zombie. Do you even have a tongue?
Some of it was from before, but I miss food. I miss being
Wait,
able to taste it. The only thing I can really, really taste is spicy. So it's kind of a hobby. Trying to find out what people like.
Well, it's very good. It's,
I know.
yes. Well, you don't have to be smug about it.
Oh, come on. It's named after you. I came up with it when
Awesome.
we were on the Mournland.
Osric,
Gee.
you would be just as smug if you won.
Well, I always win, so, I guess I can take a knee on this one. For once. Besides, it's, to be honest, Lir'wen, I threw it for him. He needs a win. Look at him.
I'm gonna roll an insight check. Can I have it with advantage because I know Ozark?
Yeah. I'm gonna.
We have advantage on all insight checks anyway.
Oh yeah,
right, we do.
You have super advantage.
That's gonna be a 16.
I forgot that when I was doing Mordenkainen's insight check, but that's fine.
Oh, that's fair.
I still rolled a 17, so.
You know what? He still beat you, actually.
Oh damn!
But you're
I
not by much.
I
Basically,
rolled
you're
a 6 and a 3 on the dice.
He rolled
so
an 8, but he's got a huge bonus to it. So
I've got a huge bonus.
So, you're just not sure. You think that he, God, maybe you never know with this guy. And as you are taking a look at him, suddenly there's going to be a shift in the vibe in the room. The energy is going to shift, and the color is going to drain from the room. The portal is going to begin to pulse with dark light. And as it does, you see the spectral illumination of little beads of red blood begin to form as condensation around the portal's exterior. A figure steps through. Amy, please describe yourselves for everyone.
Okay, so you see a tall, well, very thin, blonde elf. Pointy ears sure suggest that. In a black and red dress and black gloves and yeah. She has a fan that she's holding, and she's got like dramatic, like reddish shadow, like smoky eyes, and very, very red lips. And she is pale, too pale for what normally an elf should be.
And as she steps out, she will do so to the smell of this over-the-top breakfast, the most succulent food that you have smelt in quite a while. What do you say? What do you do? You can see that there are several people that you recognize gather around. Tasha, the witch, is lying across a divan looking very exhausted, as well as Mordenkainen is picking away at whatever the fancier of the two dishes is. And Illustrio Silverhand, the daughter of Mistra, and all around just goody two-shoes, is sipping tea and trying to ignore whatever conversation just occurred here.
Am I interrupting something?
I thought Strahd was a dude.
Just breakfast. Food?
Excuse me?
Oh, Luella. It's good that you're here. This is Luella. She's going to be your guide in Barovia, Tasha says, and starts plucking away at a bit of waffle.
I hope you like spicy. And I'll set a plate for her.
And as that occurs and you have a plate put in front of you, I think we're going to take a very quick break and we'll be right back. So folks, don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a second. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is part of the program where we're going to very briefly talk to the chat. Hey, Amy. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm with my favorite Dampier right now. I think my favorite Dampier. Do we have any other Dampiers?
Cal?
Corza.
Carmilla?
I mean, Carmilla's technically something else right now. So,
And
but
Corza.
fair.
Yeah,
Corza?
Corza.
Oh, yeah. Well, that you just vanished.
Yeah, but she still counts as a Dampier.
That's true. Who was, would you say Cal was a Dampier? Like Cal, like for Cal?
Yeah. The player.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. No further questions. Folks, welcome back, Luella von Zarovich. Because, I mean, I guess I could have brought in Zan the Plan, or I could have gone to Neil's house and forced him to play Father Burnt Bones again. But, it's too much work. It's easier just to say Amy, dressed like a goth. Also, you know, it's Luella. How could I not? But we're going to be hopping into game in just a minute. I don't want to keep us too long on this, but I wanted to remind everybody that we are now ready for the drum roll. 1 patron away from Christine having to run that game because Hecatonis just joined.
What? Can we do, like, air horns if it happens, like, live? Yeah, right?
I think we could. But then we got to start, like, choosing who's going to be in that game because it'll run probably around summer. So, yeah, and Random Equinox is saying in the chat right now that Luella does have a wiki page, but it's hard to determine where various appearances are in relation to each other. I would just tag them, like, by location and then put, like, a disclaimer at the top of, like, the list that says, these are assumed to be in order because of level. But
That assumption is going to be patently incorrect.
But what assumption isn't incorrect? Are you going to put the timeline together?
It's her order of appearance is almost chronological, pretty much, effectively.
That's true. That's true. All right, fair. See,
Though this one's a bit arguable because, yeah.
Brando just said that Luella deserves a wiki book, and I was just thinking a calendar. And then I was thinking a Dork Tales calendar of costumes would be pretty cool. I think Luella would get October. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Actually, you know what? If we did a Dork Tales
Teddy
calendar,
Comes
Not
right
for
now.
a fundraiser.
that would be pretty good. Luella could be October. Ozarian could be January.
Do you have a
feel like-
costume for him?
Oh,
Oh wow, I'm hearing that through your speakers.
he's
Your
very
mic.
loud. It's time for him to take a nap. Oof. So it's a great time for Teddy. It's a great time for crate time. You know what's really funny is that when we went on break, I was going to let him out, and then I couldn't find him because he just went into his bedroom crate and just hung out. I'm like, really? You hate that thing until you get bored of me. God, it's so good. It's so good. It's funny. We took him to a puppy playtime today, and he was very, very shy, which is weird because he's very, very not shy for you guys. But yeah, join the Patreon. I want 26 of you to join the Patreon now so that I have to run that other game. Because a lot of our games are coming to an end, and I could run a new game. For 25 more patrons, Robin? I'd do it.
Yes, I know, but no, but it's the you don't have many games happening. It's like, yes, there are a lot coming.
I know, it just feels like there aren't because, like, we're slimming it down a lot with Vandelver finally ending.
That's called breathing room.
Yeah.
I don't do that well. I know. I need to go to the gym. I need to.
We've been trying to finish Old Gods of Appalachia for 4 months now.
I've been falling. This house has been
is at
burning.
Hunter's at like 8 months.
Well, it's because every time we go to run Hunter or Old Gods, a catastrophic life event happens. It's really fun.
It's true.
You guys don't get it. Like, we were gonna run, and then let's see. I'm not gonna go into details because some of it's very personal. But those 2 games have been postponed by no fewer than 2 deaths, maybe more. some like interpersonal trauma, well, not interpersonal, but some external personal trauma, a house flooding, a COVID, and like 3 more, like I think more people have died to postpone the game than have died in those games almost.
Is the house flooding me? Because I didn't postpone anything for house flooding. Not old gods.
Oh yeah, I guess you didn't. No. Okay, then take house flooding. It's just mostly death. Mostly people just dying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, norovirus. Thank you, Soul. Yeah, norovirus was a big one. That was not fun.
Yep.
Yeah, because we were
I've
going to
pushed
run.
back games from starting in January because of the house flooding, but I didn't.
That's
cancel
right.
anything
That's
at the time.
why I actually got a comment on. I shared. What game was it? I shared Changeling. I shared the last episode of Changeling. By the way, content warning for Changeling. It gets dark at the end, so enjoy. That'll be up very soon on soonish on YouTube. But I shared it and someone was like, "That's all well and good, but when are we getting Transylvania?" I was like, "Wow." I mean, like I need to know what's in the.
That feels nice for Transylvania. Everyone wants to know what's in my box. It's fine.
That was part of it. It was part of the comment. I need to know what's in Miss Demescu's box.
See, that game's not dead, it's just undead. It won't die.
It's just undead.
We will get there.
We're gonna folks, if you're watching right now, I'm gonna just announce something to you before we head back in, and then we're gonna head back in because Jen is in a very uncomfortable chair right now at her temporary residence. A couple of things are happening to the schedule that are going to make our lives very easy. We were finding that Transylvania Chronicles was having an irregular running schedule, so we're going to give it a permanent irregular run schedule. Transylvania Chronicles is going to be returning in 2 weeks. It is going to be returning in 2 weeks, right? It's returning on the 5th. It is going to be returning full bore on the 5th of February, but it will then be a bi-weekly game. Because that gives everybody more time to flex, more time to breathe, etc., etc. It makes it much easier for events. However, it's not going to be alone.
It's also, it's hard being like such assholes all the time in character. It's nice to have that breathing room
every week,
because it's like it's just like, oh my god, I can't believe I just did that in character. Like that's such a terrible thing. Like.
And we already wanted to do a 3-on 1-off schedule anyway, and that was not working at all because we would take one off and then a life event would happen and we'd take the next 4 off or whatever, right? Like
who joined the Patreon? Who joined the Patreon, Traz? You're already on the Patreon, Traz.
Yay!
Are we? Hold on, I'm refreshing.
And there was much rejoicing.
I don't see anything. Hold on. I don't see anything, Traz. What happened? Tell me. Oh, you threw a gift to your sister. Okay, that doesn't show up in my email, so... Alright, so...
Until it's claimed, yeah.
Until it's claimed. Alright, so, Christine, start planning.
I got till summer, right?
Yeah, it's going to take like 3 or 4 months to get the art and like for Michael to do the overlays for it and stuff. Yeah, so like it will be coming down the line. So you guys will be getting it, but it does take a little bit of production time.
Also, looking at your Patreon script.
So now we're only 25 patrons away from me running a game of your choice. So folks, head to the Patreon right now. It's always an upsell with this guy. So, what I was going to tell you, though, before we hit that amazing milestone, thank you so much for that, by the way, was that... Oh, yeah, so it's not going to be alone. We're doing a lot more traveling this year, and we're finding that Mage the Ascension was having a lot of trouble. Victorian Age was having a lot of trouble on Saturday nights because we would have various like convention appearances, or people would be exhausted from the week. Jen has a lot of like life events that she goes to with the SCA, and like it's there are a lot of family events on Saturday nights. So what we're doing, Transylvania is going bi-weekly on Wednesdays, and Mage is going bi-weekly on Wednesdays. So we have World of Darkness Wednesdays coming your way. We're hoping that because of that, it will create a much more stable schedule, and will also allow me to have some weekend nights off, which will be really nice. We also, well, sort of. We also are going to have a shift on our Sunday schedule, but I'll tell you more about that later. So World of Darkness Wednesdays is going to be happening. So folks, if you like the World of Darkness, support us on Patreon because we're going to run a bunch of cool stuff. Also, I'm very tempted to run 2 versions of Curse of Strahd. One is Curse of Strahd, no fucks given, where I just run it like I run Vecna, and I'm like, I'm just this module, man. I just don't. Yeah. So, and the other is to run it like it's set in the Deep South. Well, howdy, welcome to my castle, y'all. My name is Strahd von Zarovich. A pleasure to meet y'all. I think that would be fun. But anyway, that's me.
Do that one.
Well, I've also got the Curse of Strahd Isekai idea, but I'll tell you more about that later. All right, let's do it. A 1, a 2, a 3. Hello and welcome back to Curse of Vecna, Eve of Strahd, here on Dork Tales. Luella, you arrive and have a plate made for you. Looking around, you can see these strange folk. There's an old half-elf with a symbol of the god of luck looking at you over a plate of waffles and sausage. He's got quite a bit of it riding in his mustache at the moment. Next to him, Robin, describe yourself.
Lir'wen is a... Oh gosh, I have not described my character in a while. I forget. A 5'10", kind of grayish skin-toned, full elf. If you have had any experience with moon elves at all, that is what she is. 2 very long blonde ponytails from the top of her head. Her ears are pierced with many different piercings, and she looks like a monk. She's wearing cloth and very little clothing, or very little armor. It's mostly just freedom of movement, and she's absolutely covered in dark tattoos that are kind of one would call them more of like the tribal style here in common earth terms. And they kind of glimmer a bit. You'll notice that she has, currently at this moment, 4 spectrally blue arms that are kind of addition to her. And she has kind of blue and yellow eyes. And she's just like, has a huge plate of food in front of her.
Is she using her arms to like grab extra food?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That brings up a lot of questions. So if you grab, like, say you grab something with like a lot of gravy on it, and you like put it on your plate, your spectral arms theoretically have like gravy on their fingers. What happens when you really, does like the gravy just like fall to the ground when you drop the arms?
No, I lick my fingers.
Fair enough. All right.
It's like 20 times.
Oh God, that's the worst. Also the worst next to you. Gaunt, describe yourself.
Gaunt looks like a wraith. He's a quite tall, very... his skin looks like it's rotting, and just like that sort of off color. He's got a bone mask that he wears around his lower jaw. His cloak is tattered and ripped up. The armor that he's wearing, and he is wearing armor always, is like dented, kind of. I don't want to say rusted adamantine, but it's old, very, very old, and he doesn't tend to have much of expression on his face as he's talking to you.
Next to him is a woman with a large scar across her face, Imogen. Describe yourself, please.
Yeah. Imogen is young-ish looking. She's probably like, very young to elves anyway. She's probably like 30 something, somewhere. I think she's late 20s, early 30s, somewhere in there. But she has hair that has gone completely white except right at the root where it's still black, and has these 3 scars across her face that look like a giant set of claws have just gone down her face that way, and they are sort of black but not rotting. They have a tinge of black to them, and her eyes are also quite dark gray, and she has a hilt that has no blade attached to it, and a shield, as well as just armor, scale mail-esque armor. I think technically I have plate as my thing, but I've styled it as scale mail because I like it better.
It looks cooler.
It looks cooler, right?
And that's the most important part about armor. And the last one that you didn't see until now because she was behind the couch, like loading up from one of the cloches, walking around the side, is a little gnome girl with a bipedal... If you haven't seen a gun before, if you have seen a gun, it's a gun. If you haven't, then it's a bipedal adult toy. Rosie, please describe yourself.
All right, you guys are gonna get sound to Teddy chewing on an antler as well, unfortunately. Is that coming through a lot, Kelly?
It's fine.
Because it's what's keeping him distracted right now.
That's just
She
the
comes
sound
through-
that... That's just
it
the sound Boom Boom's making.
Yeah, that's just Boom
it
Boom
comes
walking
through.
around.
That's Boom
Yeah.
Boom's sound of movement.
Yeah, it does come through less when
but
you
Rosie-
talk, so.
Rosie is 3 foot, bright pink hair, dressed in kind of, I'm thinking like the kind of thick canvas type pants. Like they look like they're made for wear with like some leather inserts on like some of like the high wear locations or something. And she's got various tools off her belt and probably a little backpack full of bits. Yeah, and she's got like a massive scar on one cheek, along with a fucked up eye. That is now like forgot, what did we put in? Was it some sort of ersatz eye?
It's an ersatz eye, yeah. It's a red one.
I've forgotten what that did, if anything.
It just allows you to see normally.
Yeah.
It's basically Thor's eye from in-game.
Cool. That's Rosie.
All right.
You foul little butthole. That
Don't
was
call me that
audible.
to my face.
Sorry. He farted loudly on my lap. I really appreciate this.
I'm leaving that
Dog
in.
ownership, yo.
All right, so
Foul
Luella.
little butthole, indeed, then.
All right, Luella. Looking around, this is the party that you are to shepherd through Barovia to help save the multiverse, is what you have been told. Which, I don't know how much you
Great.
care about the multiverse, but it is where all your stuff is.
It is. And I've invested in things.
Hmm. How evil are we talking here? Like, have you invested in, like oil drilling or Tesla stock? Or are we talking, like, what are we doing here?
She's lawful evil.
Okay, yeah, so yes. Okay, good.
So all of her servants that she has on her bankroll and contracts, she's kind of invested in those. So
Oh, fair.
that would suck.
All right. So, do you grab some food? What do you do? Or is it just time to head out?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We don't get
So-
this sort of thing in Barovia.
So you can see that there's a plate of chicken and waffles with a never-ending
She's
decanter of
England.
maple syrup. What was that, Robin?
I was saying, is Barovia England in terms of food? It's super bland.
Oh, 1000%. Well, Barovia is like England. It's like English cooking styles done with the
Like,
ingredients
what
of
imports?
Eastern Europe. Oh, I guess there are no imports, so the spices are pretty bland out there. So it's like turnips, cabbages, and
What grows where there's no sun ever?
That being said, I
Potatoes.
heard the meat pies are
British.
really good.
I would say that garlic is pretty much the only spice out there, and paprika for some reason. They always have paprika.
Yeah, and I can't have that around the house.
Yeah, you really can't. You're.
I heard the meat pies are quite good though.
That's true.
I heard you say that. Yeah, I don't know. The spokesman's pretty handsome. I'll tell you that. So, digging into the food, you are going to see that Illustriel, the lovely head of the house in Sigil, is going to be watching you with great intent. The rest of you are going to be able to gain just an immediate knowledge that Illustriel is a little tense around this newcomer. Mordenkainen doesn't seem to give two shits, and goes, "Well, I suppose that you probably know everything you need to know about Barovia, and if not, this one can fill you in. I hope, my dear girl, you're not too attached to your, Dark Lord. I do believe this one," gesturing at Imogen, the white-haired one, "is likely to, have his guts for garters."
I said I'd stab him if I needed to.
Trust me.
I don't know if I need to yet.
Very distinct difference.
In my experiences with
He wants
Barovia,
me to stab him.
I would love it if you'd stab him.
In your experiences with Barovia, no one wants you there.
In my experiences with Barovia, no one wants to be in Barovia.
Are you guys gonna keep fighting, or are you gonna eat?
I'm eating.
not-
It's good.
What they want in the room.
It's best while it's hot.
And with that, Mordenkainen will slip out. I lost my appetite. More for me!
Great. More for us.
Ah! Tasha's going to say, pointing her finger at Luella. She adjusts her witch's hat and plops down and starts digging in. So, why did you call this Osric's dong? Because it's a sausage?
Sausage, and just, it came to me in the Mornland. Plus, I don't think Osric could stand anything beating it. Even if he was the cook.
I think that the, it's fine. It's good. It's good. So, you said your name was Luella, the half-elf says to you.
You haven't heard of me?
Ah, Luella! This is Luella. She is a
Nice.
fashion model.
Von Zarovich.
Gesundheit.
Say what now?
Of Barovia. Are you ready to enter the domain of my father? I hope you'll be on your best behavior.
I'm
Oh,
This is
absolutely
something
not.
in daddy
Unfortunate.
domain.
As long as nothing gets in our
Wait,
way,
are we
we'll
supposed to
be in
practice
and out
manners when we're
quickly.
here?
Really doesn't bother to me either way. It's your funeral. Actually, kind of possibly, literally.
We can't really die. We have the
Sorry.
multiverse to save.
Yeah, and
I mean, I'm not
unfortunately
even sure I
can't do
can
that.
die at this point. I've tried a lot.
Do you want some help? We could workshop that. Not now. Maybe
Yeah,
after we
sure.
save the multiverse.
Help her die or help
if you
her
insist.
not want to die.
Bird die.
Okay.
Find something that sticks.
We seem to have a problem with that. Lir'wen points to Gaunt and Imogen.
And you're interesting. She's looking at Gaunt.
Wouldn't be the first time. Probably won't be the last.
You'll probably fit right in.
I don't think we'll cause any problems unless something decides to get in our way. Then we'll remove it and continue. Hopefully we'll be in and out quick.
Well, you've got to go to a place called the Death House, Tasha says. It's probably fine. It sounds like a good little tourist trap.
Is it any
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be
relation
fun.
to Roadhouse?
I think
What do we know
similar.
about this? What do we know about this death house? I'll look towards
It's
Luella.
deeply unpleasant.
It's like I was telling you last night. It's ran by a couple of cultists of Strahd von Zarovich, and it, what is it? I mean, with cultists like this, they kind of just fall under the radar at a certain point. We deal with so many cultists in the multiverse. It's ridiculous. It's always a cult. But they have a creepy house in the town of Barovia, which is located in the demiplane of Barovia. Which is probably located in something else called Barovia at that rate.
See, they're being very redundant with their naming system.
Barovia is all the way down.
Barovia's all the way down.
And they have the piece of the rod.
They do.
It'd be easiest probably just to kill them and take it.
Yep.
Yep. Then we can have a rod off. Vecna's rod versus Osric's stone.
I'm never going to live that down, am I?
Oh.
All right. Well, it's nice to know I have
I live
something
a
that
while,
outlives me.
Osric.
I'll make sure that the recipe is publicized. Should get all over the multiverse from here.
Great. I look forward to it.
Kind of like your
Yeah.
sandwich.
Look, Osric's Armwich is well known. You just have to go to Arm. It's good. It's got falafel in it. It's very tasty. It's a little bit of falafel, a little bit of gyro. It's good. It's kind of like a donair. Also,
So,
the dog keeps trying to steal your food, Rosie. I would stay away from it. Stay away from my
Luella,
dog.
What information
trying,
do
it's following
we need
me.
to know? What information do we need to know going into this?
Well, I think that's honestly about it. Luella will guide you through there, and if you have any problem with the locals, then she's better equipped to deal with them than you. And I don't know what your problem is. Your dong's really tasty.
It's all the rage.
But you're ready to go whenever you're ready to go.
I've been ready to go for ever since this conversation started.
Thank God. Me too.
All right, let's go follow the hot chick and get a thing from a thing and maybe kill a thing.
Yeah.
Right then. Luella's just going to turn and motion towards the portal and start walking through.
All right. You all walk through the portal. And there is, once again, that thickening feeling in your stomach as the world shifts and turns. Suddenly you find yourselves surrounded by mist. Everywhere around you is roiling, deep white fog.
Why do we keep going to misty places? Aberon was like this. Now we're in... Why is it just mist hunting?
And then on the other side of it, when the mist begins clearing, you'll find yourselves in a gloomy village. The rain spatters down around you as dismal houses and outbuildings line the cobblestone streets. The sound of a child weeping echoes preternaturally from a tall house looming in the distance. Luella, you have been to the town of Barovia before. It is not much to write home about. Can I get a perception check from everybody? And I'm looking for high, so anything above an 18 would be good.
I rolled a 4, so 10.
I rolled exactly an 18.
You said perception. That is a 15. 15.
The
15?
one
Okay.
benefit
14. I like 14.
apparently of having to deal with Daddy trying to eat my hands. I rolled a nat 20. I think I flinched when he bit down real hard.
I rolled a 19, so I got a 25.
Nicely.
Well, it still counts. I'll allow it. Let's go. So, those of you who got above an 18 and the nat 20, you are going to see through a little bit of the mist that there is the outline of Luella. You're going to see this as well, mostly because you know exactly where to look. This immense building hangs in front of you, but that's not what's catching your eye. Looming over the town of Barovia is a massive castle in the distance, atop an outcropping of rock that allows the people who control that castle to have complete view over Barovia and the lands beyond. As a king, as a Vavode, as the true lord of this land. It casts a shadow over this small burg. Luella, you will recognize Castle Ravenloft.
Home sweet home.
Now, around you here, you'll also know, Luella, that there are a number of places that you've snuck off to throughout your time in Barovia and through Ravenloft. In the village, there are a few places that you go. There is a mercantile. There is the Blood of the Vine Tavern. The Blood of the Vine Tavern. There is Mad Mary's townhouse. There's the Burgomeister's mansion. There is a church on the edge of town as well. A church to the, I believe, to the Morning Lord. As well as a couple of other just smaller places, for example, a cemetery and so on. So there are places you could go besides the Death House, but what do you do?
So, sightseeing, or are we going straight to this place?
I'm down for just going and busting in the Death House and...
Got a multiverse to save, might as well make it quick.
Yeah.
If we can.
Works for me. Just do be aware, I haven't actually been there by myself. But honestly, all these cults are the same.
Yeah, we've been
Pretty much.
dealing with a few cults.
As you
Let's
begin
go.
heading in the direction of that large looming manor, you are going to hear this kind of squeaking wooden wheel bumbling its way over cobblestone. The damp cobbles making a bit of a scraping noise as you see a hunched figure, bundled in rags, pushing a rickety cart through the low fog and rain that blankets the land. A bent old woman rounds the corner.
Oh,
She
I will say
smiled.
at this point, when we kind of got into the town and started walking off towards the Death House, Lir'wen would have activated her stand.
Okay.
Oh, before I forget, this is probably a good idea for insurance purposes. And she's gonna pull a book that's like hanging from the edge of her like belt, and we'll flip to a page, and we'll hold it out with a quill. Please write your names. This is a combination of quick communication and to try not
It's
to
like the
die
thing-
permanently.
It's like what we did with
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
first
the other
guy
one.
that we
The
other one.
Sarah.
Sorry, I don't deal with insurance agents.
Talbrin.
Sarah Tarbell.
What? No, Talbrin as well.
I reach up and just sign it.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Lir'wen does too. We've been
Yeah, so it's Imogen just
We've encountered a lot of you warlock types along the way.
Nothing wrong with that.
So who all actually does write their name in this?
Osric.
It
Eh.
just says Gaunt.
Eh,
And there's Lir'wen.
And Imogen.
cool. And once the last person who wants to sign it signs, she will just slap the, like, close the book with a snap, and we'll just tuck it back where it came from.
I'm sure that's fine. There's no problem here. All right. Okay.
Honestly, Osric, we've been signing all of their books, so if we're signing over our souls, I guess their patrons will have to fight for our souls.
No, I just mean that we should be charging for autographs, really. I mean, we're very famous.
I wonder if they get hex
mean-
flicks here.
Sometimes. Depends on your connection. Most places can't afford it.
Fair.
The wagon, the little cart, I should say, will start rolling in your general direction. A rotten-toothed old woman will eye you up with her eyes are covered in cataracts. Her skin is as wrinkled as a crumpled map. And she looks up at you.
Hello, dearies. Help an old woman who's trying to liquidate some stock. Dream pasties here. Have sweet dreams. 1 coin each, 1 coin of gold, for dreams to make you warm when you are cold.
Of course, can always take a snack for the road. So, coins, and we'll take it.
None for you. No, your money's not good here, Miss Luella. On the house.
And with a shaky hand, she'll hand you a wax paper wrapped pastry.
I didn't realize you were back.
That's a recent, relatively recent, so.
Well, strangely, I feel I should inform you. Your father, his spies are less present at the moment. The Vistani are not present in this adventure for some strange reason. Like the authors were cowards.
Is this woman quite mad?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Most of the citizens here are. Sort of comes with the eternal bleak dimness and cloud cover and night.
Yeah, I guess.
I've been
Lir'wen will
worse.
hand over a gold for a pastry.
Oh, of course.
Luella will lean over to Lir'wen and will comment, I recommend not eating it until you're actually ready to go to bed.
Okay. Maybe it's actually
I'll,
good.
And maybe take something to prevent poisoning.
Oh, I can't get poisoned.
Brilliant.
I'm immune to it, one would say.
I would love to hear how it tastes.
I
when
will
you're done.
describe it for you in great detail, Gaunt.
Oh, I would try one yourself, Mr. Skellington. Who knows, you might be able to taste it. It's made with special ingredients. Morgantha's secrets.
I don't eat and I don't sleep. But I'll buy some for the rest of you if you'd like.
No, thank you. I'm full from breakfast.
Osric, Rosie?
I mean, I'll take one. I couldn't turn down a pie. What are they, meat pies?
Only the freshest.
Good.
I'll buy one for Osric, and again, I'll just say I'd love to hear how it tastes.
Well, enjoy your time here.
Oh, and she'll push the wagon.
Ah, yes,
Holford.
dealing with locals. Such fun.
In the distance, you can hear a bit of a rabble. You can hear the sound of crying children. Do you continue your way toward the house?
Sorry, did we hear crying?
You do still hear the sound of crying. The sound of children.
Mm-hmm.
Which is that the direction we're going?
It is the direction
Gaunt
we're
asks
going, yes.
Luella.
Hmm?
That's the direction?
Mm-hmm.
To this death house? Alright. Let's go.
You make your way across the cobblestones, and as you move through town, a handful of murmuring villagers stop what they're doing and follow you at a distance. These gray-faced, hollow-eyed people watch you warily. And before you really know what's happening, the shadows following you become a small mob. A farmer carrying a pitchfork points it at you from the front. Other people around you brandish brooms, axes, large stones, and torches. They start shouting at you.
Interlopers! You, get out of the village. We do not want you here. You will bring down his ire.
My fire's bigger than yours. I'm just gonna light the sunblade up.
Okay.
Hey,
Do
keep
you want
that away from me!
Do you want to make me an intimidation check?
Yeah, I do.
That sounds great.
I love
So-
how they're saying this when Lir'wen literally has like a JoJo stand behind her.
This is true.
Yeah, my charisma is not good. I hate that intimidation is based on charisma because it's
I'll
like
let it be strength for this because it's
Ooh, yay.
you have a lightsaber.
That's fair. So that is a 17.
17. Okay. Is that your final answer? Actually, you know what? If you got Lir'wen there as well, I'll let you roll with advantage.
I was gonna say, because my astral sight allows me to actually have advantage on insight and intimidation checks.
I'll let you
As
grant
well
that
help.
to. I'll let you grant that to Imogen.
Cool. That's a 19, but I'll spend determination on it. Why
Hey. All right. So, a couple of these folk look like they're about to start throwing rocks in your general direction when suddenly you ignite the sunblade and a couple of them scatter, falling backwards. One of them will even say, the blade of the brother, and will scrabble back into the shadows. These people will move out of your way, dispersing, leaving you free of the mob.
Yeah,
Looks
these
like
people
it's their
really
lucky day.
Sunblades.
don't like tourists. One would think you would want to have people come to reintroduce things.
not?
You
I'll put
wouldn't
the
have
sunblade
ended
back
well.
away just so that it's not like aggravating anyone in particular.
Sounds
Well,
good.
It wouldn't have ended well for
Inevitably.
them if they had attacked. It's their lucky day.
Usually, visitors inevitably try to, raid
Tell your father.
and kill my father. So, just a healthy caution.
As long as your father doesn't get in our way, we have no reason to.
Well, he didn't really ask to bring home house guests, so it's probably in the best we just don't draw his attention.
That may be difficult for you. You seem like you're drawing a lot of attention. A voice says from one of the alleys. A cloaked figure steps out. She has dark brown skin. Her eyes glow slightly with blue light. She holds her hand on the hilt of a sheathed blade, and the other one out for parley. I mean no harm. I merely saw you interact with the mob. I would like to speak with you. My name is Sarusanda Alistair. I am an inquisitor, here to right wrongs and free this land from some semblance of evil. I believe our goals may align.
You understand this is a plane of dread, right?
And I understand that the multiverse is besieged by evil.
Yeah, we're gonna go fix that part.
Then our goals absolutely align. I would like to speak in private. Might I borrow a minute of your time before you trudge off into that house? I don't care whether it's in an alley or in the tavern. But if you'd like, I'm more than happy to buy you all a drink for your time.
We just had breakfast, so why don't we just go speak in an alley real quick?
Yeah, also, is the tavern really private? I think the alley's better.
It's really
Yeah.
not.
Fine. She steps back into the alley and gestures for you. You had the opportunity to slaughter those people, and yet you didn't, which means that you have my favor. Pardon the street dogs, they're quite voracious this time of night. I'm a member of an organization called the Almost Inquisition. We are dedicated to rooting out evil throughout the multiverse. I have to ask, what business do you have at the so-called Death House?
Did you
Rooting
say
evil from the multiverse.
almost Inquisition? Like you guys are almost an Inquisition?
Almost. But I can see how my accent would make that difficult for you. The almost. Oh, sorry. I'm not used to speaking this dialect of common. Ulmist. Yes, you're thinking of the Edward James Almost Inquisition. Very powerful. Now, if I can ask again, what is your business at this death house?
Rooting
We're
out
here to
evil
collect.
from the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Forgive us for our caginess, but literally we're in a town that hates us and we're not going to be super forthcoming for why we're here for doing.
you're there seeking an object, you said?
Nope.
Didn't
We
Oh,
said
just
the
say that?
multiverse.
I was starting to. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Seeking an object that will help us thwart the plans of and hopefully kill a god.
I hate to have to ask this, but a bad god?
Have you heard of Vecna?
Yes. Then you have my aid. Perhaps we can help each other achieve our goals here. What I would like to let you know is that it's called the Death House. I'm not certain how much of this you know, but it's an open secret that the Durst family that owns it are cultists of the Lord of Barovia. It occasionally causes trouble, but until now it hasn't really merited the intervention by the Inquisition. However, recently the
Everyone's
cultists...
Gonna start pointing to Luella, being like,
Oh. But I'm certain that you probably know this. I'm surprised I didn't recognize you before. Miss Luella. We do have a
Suppose I can
file on
forgive
you.
it. Of course. Everyone knows who I am.
You're a bit cagey. I'm surprised to see you traveling the multiverse with this lot.
And you make an awful lot of assumptions.
Are you not traveling with them?
Currently, I'm
Guiding?
guiding them.
Yeah.
So you've just
I would
years.
hardly call it with them.
Hmm.
We've really only just met.
Well. Despite
We're
her
not at
prickly
that
demeanor.
stage of our relationship yet.
I see. Well, then it would behoove you to know that despite this one's demeanor, she has been involved in quite a few noteworthy events that brought quite a bit of good to the multiverse. In spite of herself.
Are you talking about me?
I particularly would like to reference your adventures in Candlekeep.
I got so many people on probation.
Mm-hmm. Or your adventures in Strixhaven, but I don't think those have been chronicled properly. Regardless, whether or not you know this then, Miss Luella, the cultists in the Death House have obtained something important, probably something that you might be looking for. A fragment of an object called the Rod of Seven Parts. I believe that the cultists don't know much about this rod piece. I suspect they are quite ignorant. But...
As is the way of cultists.
Yes. And as the way of cultists, they shan't hesitate to try to use it to attract Strahd's attention. Strahd has no love of this cult, our reports say.
Of course not. They're uppity upstarts that just want attention. If
Well,
you give them attention, they don't learn.
So we could either
Until you
kill
need
them
to,
all,
you know, squash them.
or we could promise them that you will introduce our head to Strahd. Your dad can kill the head of the cult, and then it's gone. But then we can avoid conflict, and they'll just hand us over the rod. If we promise
What does Strahd look like?
a meet and greet.
I
Tall,
wouldn't...
broody.
He's a noble.
Elegant.
That may work with the cult, but they're not the only ones that you have to watch out for. Their discovery of the rod piece roused the attention of another group. The Priests
Oh,
of
another
Ozzibus. They're unaffiliated with the other cults in the Death House. The Priests of Ozzibus are necromancers who steal souls to fuel their evil, prolonging their life with infernal magic. They wish to claim the rod piece for use in their necromantic rituals, and they've divined its location, and I assume your arrival as well. They likely are the ones who stirred the rumors about you. They said that you were here to slay the villagers' children, to grind their bones into paste, and all manner of other horrible things, collect taxes.
Those aren't the kind of bones I grind.
Oh. I heard about the priest's activity, or they were in the midst of stirring the villagers into this frenzy. I vowed to stop them, and whatever other evil is happening there. If you'll have me, I'll go with you. And together, we can make a bit of a difference.
Will you drop the overbearing, pretentious act at any point?
I don't know what you mean. I am an inquisitor.
Yeah, it's really, seems to be a symptom of the type, but...
All right, Miss Luella, how would you rather I speak?
How you speak is irrelevant. I just want to make clear, if you come with us, we deal with things our own way. Which means if something does not get out of our way, we remove it. Is
I would
that
assume-
clear?
Yes, Mr. Gaunt. I know your reputation. You are in our archives as well.
Yeah, but you know he's talking about you too, right?
Yes.
Rosie. I know we used the rod to find the other piece of the rod in the last place. Do you have it, right? Can it locate?
I didn't grab it.
I forget who was carrying the pieces. I thought it was Rosie.
No, actually,
Maybe.
specifically, it was Lir'wen grabbed the last one because I had a joke written about her grabbing rods.
Right on.
But yes.
Perfect.
It's never been stated that it's been handed to Rosie.
Oh, I wasn't sure. My brain is soup. So Lir'wen, does it draw towards a certain direction? Like, do you think you can use the pieces of the rod to find the others? Because if so, I say we burn the house down and then just use that to search the wreckage. Kill all the cultists, get rid of them along the way. Nice, quick.
How flammable are these rods? That's not going to be damage one of them?
No.
It's magical.
It's an artifact of great power.
Then
Luella,
I have no problems with it.
Luella, make me a history roll before
sure.
you say that.
$15.
15. You know that the Death House seems very resilient and actually apparently regenerates damage done to it directly.
Okay, so to continue what I was saying, well, I have no problem with that, except for the whole small problem where it just, you know, regenerates.
The house regenerates?
Is there some sort of curse or enchantment, or it's alive?
Alive?
Or
Lir'wen flashes
dead.
back to the last... Was it Eberron or the plane before where Lir'wen got eaten by a mimic? It was Eberron.
It was Eberron.
Lir'wen just has like a 1,000-yard stare. Not a mimic.
Listen. If we're going here, we need to act quickly to stop the priest of Ozzibus and your father.
Ozzibus.
Yes, the Ozzibusians. Even that one's not lost on me. Look, I don't
Rosie,
care if you take
you
the
know,
artifact when this is
Luella.
done. And I shan't try to stop you. Honestly, getting it away from Barovia is probably the smartest thing that we could do. Keeps it out of Strahd's hands, keeps it out of their hands, and anybody else foolish enough to exist here. Plus,
Are you
Yes?
done, like, smack docking my house? My home?
It's not like you stayed here either.
Yeah, but it's still where all my stuff is. Where do you think I go between semesters at Candlekeep and Strixhaven and everything?
Alright, fine. See, her prim voice is starting to crack into a little bit of a lower, like, Sussex accent. Like, fine. Then shall we be off? You're quite aggravating. Our files were accurate.
Are we gonna have a problem? Do you have a bone to pick with me?
Not that kind of bone.
Stay in your lane, bitch.
What has come from below next to you?
Lir'wen's gonna hold one of her many hands out to Rosie for a high five.
Luella
Rosie's
looks
gonna turn into a fist bump.
Yeah.
at Rosie.
Alright.
From what little bit I'm gathering about the two of you, I look towards our Inquisitor. I'm sure one of us, or one of you, is more prone to murder than the other. So you might want to be a little careful. Because, honestly, I don't think the rest of us would care either way.
Let me just put it this way. You may think I'm a goody two-shoes, Luella, but I don't care what you do. If burning down the house and everyone in it would get the job done, then I don't give a fig.
Good to know. Imogen's gonna just start like walking out of the alley and heading towards the house, like sunblade out.
I'm gonna go with Imogen.
Yep, that's what Luella's doing, but she's also giving the sunblade a bit of wide berth, being like, really, do you have to stick that out right now?
And you, she'll turn around and point a couple of fingers at Rosie and Lir'wen. Look, give me shit all you want, but be careful with Gaunt. At the very least, maybe ask who his patron is. And she'll turn and walk away.
Yeah, Gaunt has saved my life many times. I'm gonna believe what your paper says.
Have you ever considered that he saved your life as part of a plan? A broken tool is a useless tool.
The plan is to kill Vecna, so...
He called you a tool, Osric will say, in a very un-Osric voice. He called you a tool. Yep. Let's go.
Lir'wen's gonna just give, as we're walking away, Lir'wen's just gonna give a very, very hard smack to Osric on his paticus with her arms. All four of them.
Look, just because you had a mouthful of my dong earlier doesn't mean you get seconds.
Just giving you a boost.
I don't need a boost.
After you got a thorough beating this morning.
Come now, I can handle myself.
You're welcome for the assist, Osric.
How do you hear that? You're all the way out in front.
What a...
Pretty sure he just says that to get your goat.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't even have...
Osric won't be able to hear that because... Yeah.
All right.
Can you stop shouting? I have too many ears for all of us.
Mm-hmm. Stepping ahead, you're going to find yourself standing in front of the Death House. The Death House, which I would tell you about, but they didn't provide a damn description of it in this module, which is really funny. Let me just double check. Did they? They didn't provide a description of the fucking house. It's like this module,
it's a normal
guys.
House.
It's a normal house. It's you know, it's a ranch.
When you say,
suburban house. Yeah.
When you say Death House, I'm picturing the house from Monster House.
Kind of.
See, when you say Death House, I'm picturing suburban house, white picket fence, but in Barovia.
Yeah, basically, it's the house from Family Matters, right? Like it's just
yeah, that.
All right, so I'm gonna whip up Curse of Strahd real quick. One sec. And did they give you a description in Curse of Strahd? Well, I mean, the Death House.
It's
Did
the
really?
Death House.
All right, so I've used a big ass mansion for our background because it was way better than what I have. So, as you approach, you see a boy and girl standing in the middle of a dirt road outside of a grim house. It's a tall brick row house that has seen better days. The windows are dark, and it has a gated portico on the ground floor. The rusty gate is slightly ajar. The houses on either side are abandoned, their windows boarded up. Now, of course, in ours, we're going to make it a slightly bigger house. It's still going to be kind of like the type of house you would see in, like, probably in, like, London or something like that, like the row houses, right? It's very tall and thin, but has, like, a Victorian ambiance to it. Or a Gothic ambiance at the very least. The boy is weeping and clutching a stuffed doll. The girl is trying to quiet the boy. She is, the boy is, oh God, probably up to Imogen's hip. He is dressed in a hooded red robe that's lined with fur around the collar and down around the ankles. This doll it looks like one of the ugly dolls that you would buy at like Hot Topic. One eye way bigger than the other, kind of looks like something out of Nightmare Before Christmas. He's clinging to it. The girl is almost up to, I'm going to use Imogen as that. Imogen up to the chest, is wearing this like picture perfect tunic with embroidery, as well as a red cape and cowl that is clasped by a chained double brooch. Her hair split down the middle, and she has like this very like older than she looks well, not older than look, probably like she looks older than her years in the eyes. She is trying to comfort him. She turns to you. Shh, 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 shh. There's a monster in our house. Mom and Dad told us to play outside. Please, won't you make it safe? The children.
Imogen's just gonna keep walking to the house. Like, she's like, these might be ghosts, they might be kids, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It's usually better not to give them any attention anyway.
Right? Yeah.
Can I insight what they said?
Talk to the children?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, make me an insight check. What did you say, Rob?
I said Lir'wen was also wondering about the insight check about.
Yeah, make me an insight check. Let's do it.
With advantage, double 12s.
Double 12s.
With advantage, 20.
With advantage, 20. They seem genuinely freaked out.
Lir'wen's gonna kind of crouch down, get on the 2 level, and like. What's in your house?
Can you make me a persuasion check to try to calm them down?
I will try. That's a 10.
The difficulty was 10.
Huh?
I kid you not. All right. One of them takes the little boy, sniffles.
Lir'wen's gonna grab like some. She always has things kind of dangling off of her from previous adventures, so she's just gonna kind of grab like something similar to like, you know, the like I'm kind of picturing like a mini version of like, you know, like the little like racetrack like stuff at the dentist, that like the beads on wire. Lir'wen's gonna
like
grab
abacus weird wire thing.
Yeah. So she's gonna give that to the kid to try and like calm him down and be like, hey, here, have this. I find fiddling with my hands sometimes helps. I've got a lot of them.
Papa and Mama have people over a lot, but this time it's different. It's the weird people.
The girl strokes his hood and flattens it around his hair and says,
The monster arrived just after our parents ordered Thorn and I out to play. I'm really worried for Brigetta, our nursemaid. She's always been so nice to us, but as soon as we came outside, we heard screams and howls coming from the basement. And then a bunch of adults in robes came and entered the house, and they weren't the normal robed adults with the masks that come on Saturday nights for special adult time.
Book club.
Book club. We're not allowed to look at those books until we're older, though. They have a lot of pictures, so it's very strange.
actually, Thorn will go,
They've got a lot of pictures, too, of people doing funny poses.
Lyra's just gonna look very awkward because she's trying to get better with kids, but she's not good with kids, and she's like, I am not having this conversation with these children.
And
I'm not talking.
Some of the pictures look kind of like you, lady.
Points at Lir'wen.
I feel like you would have said if this was the case, but do either of them react to the Sunblade being out? Because that would tell me a thing.
They do not. I mean, like,
Cool.
obviously they're gonna like they're gonna squint at it because it's bright and it's Barovia.
Well,
Everything's dark here.
I mean, yeah, it's been coming up towards them for a little bit, so at least, there's that. Helps adjust.
Yeah, they don't like burst into flames or anything, which is pretty good.
Yeah. So, a monster? Did you see what the monster looked like?
But they was screaming, so there had to be something.
Did you see there was howling?
I think that was the monster. The older one says.
Great.
We're too afraid to go back inside.
Don't worry, we are going to do that. We're heroes, and we're here. We're gonna save the multiverse, if you know what that is.
All right. There's the sound
Imogen.
of a click as Imogen pulls open the front door.
Oh, I'm there with Imogen, but I just want to ask quickly, Imogen, do you want to see just how sturdy this house is before we enter?
Ooh, yeah. Stab.
The Sunblade will eventually start working its way through the front door. Like, it is very resistant, but not invincible. Think of like the beginning of Phantom Menace. Like, it's gonna you're gonna have to like melt through this house with the Sunblade.
Okay, burning it down isn't an option then.
Yep, but good to know. Good call.
Hearing that
In we go.
click, Lir'wen's gonna be like, okay, we're gonna go get the monster. Don't worry, just watch out for each other, and we'll save your mom and dad. But I've gotta go. And Lir'wen will like, pew!
Listen, Rosie,
Osric is going to say,
we can't just leave these children out here, and we can't bring them inside.
We really can. It's probably safer for them here.
What are you suggesting?
I can stay out and watch them. You can use message, contact me if you need me. And I'll come
I
running.
mean, your name's in the book, so I can always send you a message that way.
Have fun. Don't tell them any dirty stories, okay, Ozzy?
I'm not going to tell them any dirty stories. Look, they already have looked at pornography with Lir'wen in it.
That's true. The parents don't sound very responsible.
he looks up at the dilapidated house, looks back down.
You don't say.
Have fun?
All right, kiddos, who wants to play with Uncle Osric? I guess Grunkle Osric. All right.
Hey, old man. I'll go up to him and say, I know you probably don't need him, but just in case. And I'll pass him the healing potion that I have. You keep yourself safe.
You keep yourself safe. You're the one going into trouble. I'm just playing with children.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Die?
Yeah, that's real funny. Real funny. Try not to. All right.
Don't worry. I won't.
All right. With that, you all turn and vanish through the front doors of the death house. Luella, the last one to head in, what do you do?
So step in and close the door behind me, I think.
With that, the door slams shut as you enter the death house and the next part of your adventure. But I think that's what we're going to call game for the night, because this is a really good stopping place, and because the dog needs to be let out and other things like that. So folks, Amy, thank you. Welcome to game. It's going to get crazier from here, and I always love playing with
Thanks
Luella.
for having me.
It's always great to have you.
thank you for putting on makeup for a short cameo. Well, not really cameo, but now you get
Well, I
like
mean, it was, now I know what I'm doing, and next time it'll be I can do it quickly.
And
you
you
will,
had a bit more time with our cooking contest to get ready.
Yes,
So.
exactly.
that's really
That
true,
was
right?
good.
That's always handy to get that extra.
And I found the
cooking
wig I
time.
wanted to use. I went digging.
Yeah.
That was part of what
Did
I was
you?
doing.
Good. That wig's way
Nice.
better than the other one.
Mhm.
I like it.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's way, way
folks,
better.
you guys are all amazing, and I love you so much. Just letting you know that we have unlocked Christine's campaign during the break. Thank you so much to Trizelta and Hecatonis for signing up today. Traz signing up his sister. But if you want to make sure that that momentum keeps going, please go to the Patreon and support us over on Patreon. It's a great way to keep the channel going and move us ever closer to even more games, more cool stuff, more campaigns, more epic adventures here from Dork Tales. So head over there, and for as little as like $5 a month, you get a ton of additional behind-the-scenes content, such as Panic at the Radiant Citadel, which is back, baby, this Sunday at 7 p.m. So that is the game that Robin runs for us, and it is full of so much bisexual panic. It is not even funny. What?
Is it not back to 6 because it's Sundays, or are we going?
Oh, is it
for-
on 6? Yeah, we can do 6. I don't care.
Because
Yeah,
we do
I-
6 on Sundays. Because
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
We do.
'cause of
Yeah, no
work.
post on Sundays, but it's.
Mondays.
So I'll adjust the schedule. So it's at 6. It's at 6.
It's at 6.
It's at 6. So come and hang out with us if you are on the Patreon, one of the VIP tier or above. Besides that, thanks to Bookwyrm Games, our sponsor, and thanks to all of you. We couldn't do this without you. Patreon, of course, is the best way to support the channel. And a big thank you to all of our patrons, like our divine producers, my mom, hi mom, and Shykon Vermillion. Our demonic producer, Sorcerer Sanguine, our wizards of the Patreon, Tammy the Forever Cleric, the Ink Goblin, Karasha Urquhart, and Big Nut. Our Monster Maker Soul Omen, and our High Council, Terran, Amberthist, Raven with Baubles, Chef Eladeth, Mike Baxter, Larouk, Brian Kaler, Nerdy Metal Gent, Grumpy Owl, Cody, David Prophet, and Andrea Gresham. Besides that, big thank you to Amy, of course, for joining us for this episode and for the next little stint. We will be back next week on Friday night. And another thank you to Michael Eilot, our graphics guy, for being able to put Amy down here. I also want to shout out our artist, Madeline, who got that fantastic birthday present / Christmas present for Amy that I got her.
Girl.
Your girl finally has art, and I will post that
She's
in
so
the Discord.
sexy.
She's so hot. Oh my god. I don't get it.
And Amy, you and that makeup is just like Luella is just like
Sex bomb, sex bomb.
bisexual panic.
Bisexual panic, sex
With
bomb
Luella.
explodes, no survivors.
I found all of my stuff for my panic costume. So yay.
Oh my god.
Yay!
Folks, if you have not tuned into Panic at the Radiant Citadel, it is
Oh
just a
my
bunch of
God.
people trying to be as sexy as they can, and Robin
To
sputtering for 4
fluster
hours.
me. Yeah, it's real fun. It's real fun. I just get flustered.
start talking
super
like-
easily.
You're just like
It's usually what it devolves into.
it's pretty great. We should just
Alright,
just
Jen,
have a game
your
with all
plan
the
for evil.
That's true. We should just have a
Yeah,
game with all the
Jen.
sex bombs. We should like have like
A bunch-
Trixie, Luella,
Trixie.
Luna, Ferrex, and
Oh my gosh.
somebody else. We'll figure somebody else out. Kyle? I don't know. But folks, that is going to be it for us tonight. Thank you so much.
Zarya.
Or Zarya.
Or Levna. Is Zarya, yeah. All right,
Yeah.
so that's going to be it for us tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in to Vecna, Eve of Strahd, Ruin of Curse. I don't know.
Ruin of Strahd.
Ruin of
Ruin of Curse,
Strahd.
Eve of
Eve of
God.
Strahd,
Eve of
Ruin of
Vecna.
Vecna.
Ruin of
Ruin of
Vecna. It's
Vecna,
going to be
yeah.
so hard not to play Strahd like Adam Sandler when he shows up, because he's got it. And he's. By the way, I had to call them out for not putting the Vistani in here. I'm like, seriously, they're half the damn setting, and because you guys are cowards, you didn't put them in. That's what I'm assuming. Instead, it's like, I can't wait, folks. I actually have to spend a bunch of time doing this because next. I'm not going to spoil it, but let's just say for a future adventure, I'm having to do a lot of work to rewrite it. Because I'm very, very frustrated with what they did for this. But hey, you're here for the fun. And with that,
Admittedly, I am minorly struggling in that I know what happens in this house.
but they changed it. They changed a few things.
They changed it a little bit.
The house is only half the problem, then it gets worse, which is kind of nice.
Okay, cool.
But
Because definitely like a lot of the stuff leading up, I'm like, I recognize all this. I remember this stuff.
Yep.
Ah.
They just updated the art, which is kind of nice. But hey, folks, we're going to head out. Have a wonderful night. We love you. And join the Patreon if you can. We'll see you next week. Or sooner if you're here for the Radiant Citadel or for one of the last episodes of Fandelver on Monday. Good night, everyone.